Today's episode is brought to you by Netflix. For a free 30-day trial, just head on over to netflix.com/GameBreakerTV.
GameBreaker TV.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to This Week in MMO, episode 173. It's December 20th. It's almost Christmas. You're watching Gamebrake. I'm Gary Gannon. Coming up on today's show, there's a little bit of Landmark news. We'll talk about that. Other than that, we're going to talk about 2013 and 2014 and all that good stuff. It's the pre and post wrap-up and anticipation show, whatever, thingamabob. What's up, Mr. Claus?
How are you, Mr. Gannon?
Getting festive, I see.
Yes, well, 5 days. Last episode before the holidays. We've got some awards to give out. We got the TWIMMOs. Even Gary Gannon and my other illustrious co-host there, Jason Winter, they do not know the winners nor the nominees, so it's bound to be a great show. I hope.
We don't even know the nominees or the winners.
Nope.
Or
you don't even know the categories.
So it's basically Mike Burns' own personal award show,
man. My 12-year-old son made this for us.
That's awesome.
This is a TWIMMO. There's our little TWIMMO guy right in the middle there.
Is that an Altoids box top or something? What is that?
Hey, yeah. I mean, all kinds of stuff. We got Sonic there. We got Link. We got Mario and that little guy there. That's the TWIMMO. Congratulations in advance to our winners.
In advance.
You will get a TWIMMO.
Apparently, Mike hasn't heard of any video games that came out in the last 30 years.
Hey, man. Mike's 12-year-old kid made it. Really, Jason? Really? Right.
Mike's 12-year-old kid wasn't around when those games came out.
But he recognizes masterpieces and what other games should strive
you're dissing a 12-year-old kid. You have stooped to
damn right, absolutely.
You want to come over and tear it apart for him, too? I mean, that would be really great, Jason.
Yeah, pretty much. Can I crush his dreams, too, while I'm at it?
Step on it, burn it, maybe.
Yeah, I just want to, get the full effect.
All right, we're going to get to the
Grinch, so that works out.
You just want to win a TWIMMO.
He does. He just does. All right, we're going to get to the TWIMMOs in a bit. Really quick, a little bit of EverQuest next Landmark news this week. We kept hearing that the date for Landmark's beta was going to be on or before February 28th, which we always thought was kind of a little bit odd. SOE President John Smedley tweeted that the alpha is looking like sometime in the last half of January. That's what we're hearing, alpha last. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Last week we talked about how Elder Scrolls release date was just 4 days from Landmark's beta. Wonder if it's
and all of a sudden, not anymore.
Coincidence? What do you think? Smart move? Steer clear? Steer clear?
Yeah, it's definitely a smart move. If you know a given release date, get the hell away from it. Even in this case, I don't think they're obviously too much direct competition, one being free and the other one not. But still, if you can get away from it, get away from it. Why not?
But on the other hand, they're not moving the date that's actually close to it away. They're moving the alpha date before February 28th. But they could move the beta because now they'll figure that can happen earlier. But why not do that in the first place then?
That would be the theory, is that they'll move the alpha date earlier so that they can possibly move the beta date as well.
Sure, then why not announce that too, or what are they just going to strap
the alpha yet, man?
They're going to strap the devs into their chairs and be like,
when are they going to release the expansion, Jason? When's the expansion coming out?
We thought we'd get this out by March 28th, by March 31st. We thought we'd get it out by then. But now that we hear about that, we're going to strap our developers to their chairs, force them to work 14 hours a day so they can get it out another 6 weeks earlier or whatever. Is that what they're doing? I don't know.
That's another one of those moments where I picture the corporate office. As soon as he sent that tweet out, I just see like George running down the hall. You son of a! Just take it off.
So we shall see. We shall see. I don't know.
Christmas is canceled for SOE.
Hey,
yeah,
nobody's going Christmas.
Home. Nobody.
They need to make Landmark a hit. This needs to be a hit for them. There's no downtime in winning.
Do you think Landmark has to be the hit?
They have to start. Yeah, of course.
I mean, Next obviously has to be a big hit, right?
Yeah, but if Landmark doesn't hit,
but can Landmark miss?
No, it can't.
Still be okay?
No. If Landmark doesn't hit, how many people will just like glaze over Next and not even try it? It's
could Landmark be the kind of thing that it launches and it's not great, as a lot of MMOs are when they first launch, and then over the course of a year it turns into something pretty good. So by then, people will completely forget how the launch was. As long as it's good now, and now they're pimping EverQuest Next, the $100 package.
It could work in their favor.
You look at Landmark and say, hey, great, it's fine, so let's buy it. So
sure, if Landmark is kicking ass, like right around the time the Next wants to launch, and people are really super into it and playing it, like, and it even is close to as big as, like, say, like a Minecraft phenomenon or something, for sure, that's going to spill over just as well as into Next to increase sales. So it's going to work either way. Why, Bird? Do you not think that it really matters?
No, we've kind of touched on that on previous shows, too, before we really had a picture of Landmark and Next and what each was trying to do. And we've speculated on that already, that if you screw up with Landmark, even though it's going after a slightly different crowd, if you screw up with Landmark, then Next is in serious trouble and hasn't even come out yet. And so I'm just wondering if we still all feel that way.
If you screw up the concept, if the ideas that they have aren't very good, then yes, I agree with that. If the execution is not 100% great, if it's got a few holes here and there, the sort of thing, like you said, that they can kind of patch up over the first year before Next comes out, I think that'll be acceptable. I think it can have a rough beginning as long as it smooths itself into shape eventually and is still good at a fundamental level.
Well, it's almost around the corner now. It's almost here. It's getting close. I gotta buy
Hell yeah, a month away, baby.
I haven't got my pack yet. I got
$100, well worth it.
You just have to keep convincing yourself of that, don't you?
Every day. Every day I have to get up and I'm like, you know what? Sony's doing great things with my $100. They're doing great things with it. I know they are.
Sushi, barbecue ribs, Starbucks
Christmas vacations, bonuses,
hookers.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Bunch of hookers and blow. Thanks, Burn. Nice job. Yeah, you guys are welcome.
Hair gel for Georgeson.
Have a good one.
All right, so we're going to get on to the TWIMMOs. Today's TWIMMOs are brought to you by Audible. For a free 30-day trial and to receive a free audiobook, all you got to do is go over to audible.com/gamebreaker, sign up, make an account, download the iOS or Android app to your phone. You get to downloading a free audiobook today. I've just started book 2. You can't go wrong with the R.A. Salvatore. You really can't. Part of the Dungeons & Dragons series, the Forgotten Realms series. Listen to this.
The chill wind that gave Icewind Dale its name whistled across their ears, its incessant groan eliminating the casual conversation the four friends usually enjoyed. They moved west across the barren tundra, and the wind, as always, came from the east behind them, quickening their already strong pace. Their posture and the determined drive of their strides reflected the eagerness of a newly begun quest.
Book 2, Streams of Silver, Legend of Drizzt, Icewind Dale Trilogy, Book 2, written by R.A. Salvatore, narrated by Victor Bavine. Fantastic, fantastic series. You really can't go wrong with this one, folks. If you haven't read, maybe you want to pick up Book 1. If you have not checked out Book 1, that is on the Audible as well. But I highly recommend the Dungeons & Dragons Forgotten Realms series. It's really awesome. So you can choose this one or one of any other Dungeons & Dragons or books of your choice just by going to audible.com/gamebreaker. Like I said, sign up, make an account, download it, and you will be able to try Audible absolutely free for 30 days. Completely free. And you get one free audiobook just for using the URL audible.com/gamebreaker. So thanks so much to Audible for supporting This Week in MMO. All right, so not a whole heck of a lot of other news going on. There's some here and there, but really it's the end of the year. It's the last This Week in MMO before the new year. We're going to be taking a little bit of a vacay break. We'll come back into January. So I guess it's a good time to kind of talk about 2013, what's going on. We'll talk a little about 2014. First of all, 2013, pretty interesting year. The Defiance, Neverwinter, Final Fantasy XIV, Burn, your drug of choice.
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying that very much right now, yes.
I like how Burn just kind of goes when Defiance is out and then Final Fantasy XIV is like...
Hey, I own Defiance. I played Defiance. I watched the show.
Well, let's talk about Defiance for a second. What do you think? Definitely not a big winner for Tryon.
No,
I don't think it really didn't do as well as they'd hoped. Why do you guys think that? I mean, where did they kind of slip up here?
I'd like to say they just didn't execute, but the game has fun moments. The show has fun moments too, but there was nothing in either the game or the show that just really was enough to hook me. And I think I'm in the same boat a lot of players are that bought Defiance and started playing on launch day and got through all the fiasco with how bad the UI was, trying to use a keyboard and a mouse and all that stuff. But there was just nothing in either that really, really grabbed you and made you want to stick, and I fell out of the show halfway through the season and the game shortly after that. And I think, Gary, you talk about this all the time. It's, man, people are hungry for some really, really, really good sci-fi, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And this wasn't it. And it just kind of sat there as a decent shooter that can be fun at times and other times has nothing new to offer.
Yeah, I mean, for me with Defiance, what really kind of, I played it early on, and I think what killed it for me was it really felt like there was a lack of content. It felt like the engine could have gotten there at some point. The gunplay felt okay, but not amazing, but it felt okay. Yeah. Some of the progression systems and things like that. It was that once you played it for X number of hours, it felt like a ton of repetition. The same types of mobs. It just didn't feel like it was fleshed out enough. And I don't think there was enough there at launch. I don't think there was enough there to keep players at launch. And I think like early on, after you clocked in 15 to 20 hours, which is not a lot, you started feeling that it was just a grind of repetition because it just wasn't all that engaging.
And you wonder how. And not only that, it was impossible for the first few months to actually group up with people and do things together. It was like, no, you're supposed to play here with everybody, but we don't want you talking. Don't do that.
Yeah, it did have the UI I remember was not that great when I played it. But yeah, you wonder how much of that was them having this hard deadline because they had to have it out when the show came out, whatever the April 4th or whatever the date was. So it's not like a game where you just say, well, it's not quite finished, we got to push it back 2 months. No, they had to have it out then.
Yeah, but we can't, we're
well, I know, I'm not saying that's an excuse. I'm just saying that's probably why it wasn't.
They committed to the date. They signed the contract. This game needs to come out X number of date, and they knew. So they also, were completely aware of how big of a project this was going to be in the undertaking. I mean, I said it from day one. Defiance to me, coming from a television background and knowing what it takes to develop like a show like that, and then trying to work alongside of a game company, was absolutely like mind-blowing to me that was going to possibly work. I just didn't understand how it would work. I think actually, to some extent, it did work to some extent. I'm amazed it's done this well, actually, because I don't understand how two completely separate entities like that, like television production, game production, could work alongside of each other that closely and pull that off. And it's still going, which is why I guess I'm slightly calling it a success, because it's still running.
Well, and keep in mind, though, that they did have the benefit of the first season of the show really didn't have a whole hell of a lot to do with the game anyway. They were talking about all that integration that you were talking about. How are they going to do this? How are they going to pull this off with one leading into the other? Now, that's really going to be interesting in Season 2 when that is slated to actually start happening, where game stuff impacts the show and vice versa.
Do you think they're really going to do that?
Season 1, they were kind of...
I haven't been paying attention all that much, but have they been really talking about Season 2 and how it's going to impact the game? Because I just don't. I see them abandoning that. That'd be my personal take on it. I have no knowledge. I could see them just abandoning the tie-in to the show.
I don't. Can you? I mean, if you abandon that, there's almost nothing redeeming about either product.
Well, just the crossover, like not abandon the IP. Stuff. It's the IP, but it's the IP of the game and as the show goes on. But I could see them. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't really been paying attention. I know the latest news I think I've seen is they're now offering I think an unlimited free trial now. So
it was also cheap last month on the Steam sale. It was discounted to $5, so it'll probably be discounted again this month.
Cheap on Steam for a while.
Well, yeah, but even more. right.
There's been times on Steam that it's been free to good home.
And there's no sub fee, so there's that. So.
That is true. I mean, if there is a free trial, which I believe that did come out. I don't know. I can't really know. I don't know if I don't know if I would go on a limb and recommend it to people over the holiday season to download and try it. It's free, so it's hard not to, if there's a unlimited free trial, it's hard to not say try it. But I think it was a really interesting idea, and I would love to see more FPS, third person, or shooter-esque MMOs. I'm definitely a fan of the shooter genre. I don't know. Let's talk about Final Fantasy XIV. I mean, that's the big success. I mean, if Defiance was kind of the bummer. 14, right? Wow. Like, talk about coming out of the ashes. Been almost the laughing stock to some extent of the MMO industry on the first run through.
And totally deserving of it.
And completely did turn it around. Nobody could believe it. But man, it's a solid MMO. It's doing really well. They did it. I mean, I don't even know what else to say. I mean, do you agree, Jason? Like, you were really skeptical as well. I mean, we always said, like, could an MMO, because when they leave a bad taste in gamers' mouths, they usually don't want to come back and ever try it again, but they've got plenty of subs.
Mm-hmm. Again, my experience is limited to that beta that I played in for up to like level 15 or whatever, and yeah, I know it didn't seem like, some sort of awesome next-gen full of dynamic events and all this other kind of modern stuff, voxels or anything like that we tend to think of. It was a solid traditional MMO, which I think was all that, not necessarily all you asked for, but as bad as that first one was, I think you were happy for it to just be solid, if not revolutionary, which it isn't, which no one has claimed that it is. So just having that much there and having it be in the Final Fantasy universe, having all the traditions or whatever that you're used to and that sort of thing, was enough for a lot of people.
It's interesting, Byrne. I mean, looking at the game before it launched, we started seeing the systems and things like that. And even you've made a lot of references and comparisons to World of Warcraft. And I was even, when that would happen, I was like, wow, do Final Fantasy players really want that a lot of these references in the systems? But apparently they do. I mean, you're completely
600,000 subscribers is kind of hard to argue with, right? That's an impressive number in a day of the subscription model is dead. That's an impressive number, and 2.1 just came out a few days ago. The first huge patch which dropped a ton of content into the game. So it's going to be interesting to see what that does to people that maybe left thinking 2.1's a little too far away. I'll resub when it comes. I'll be interested in the numbers a month from now. I think another thing, yes, the game is good. It's solid if you are into more traditional things. Gary, you and I said from day one to people, if you're looking for a traditional MMORPG, fantasy-based, this will do it for you.
Fantastic
if you're
choice.
looking for crazy, totally new stuff, then go look somewhere else. This isn't for you. But one of the things I think we do need to mention is that it's also all in the timing, isn't it? Mm-hmm. They had Q2 through Q4 by themselves.
Mm-hmm. It'll be really interesting to see how it holds up when we have all those new games coming out next year.
They just did an awful lot right at the right time.
What do you think they really tapped into, though? What did they really, if you could narrow it down? I mean, I know you could just say everything, but what did they really tap into that they really got right that's been keeping players most excited and happy with the game since it's launched?
Well, the story, obviously. The story is very true to a Final Fantasy type story, and they nailed the feel of a Final Fantasy world. And you've talked about this in regards to another game that you've played at E3 and things like that with Elder Scrolls Online, is that you may have questions about the game, but damn, it feels like an Elder Scrolls universe. And Final Fantasy's got that same thing going for it, where it is legit to its history, and it even throws a couple fanboy nods in there with little bonus things that get your attention from previous games. So they executed on the IP. Yeah, they didn't do anything new system-wise, but man, the IP is solid. And to a certain extent, obviously carries the game. You'd be dumb not to think it's carrying the game a little bit.
You know, I remember one
fee.
What's that?
I said, and with a sub fee. Like we were all skeptical on them coming back with a sub fee, going like, wow, you screwed up once, like you're coming back, like at least make it free to play so we can all give it a chance again. But they went, nope, we're gonna go for sub fee. Yep. And everybody's pretty happily paying for Final Fantasy XIV. I don't see much grumbling from the community going like this should be a free to play game. It doesn't. It feels it's got all the components there to make it a fully solid payable subscription.
I think that's part of the natural user base of it, that they are kind of that little bit of an older, wanting a more traditional kind of thing, and maybe a little disdainful of the free to play model to some extent. They want that that $15 a month, the surety that you're getting the whole game. So I think that plays in. I think, and as much as we kind of make fun of how games are just all WoW clones and now we need more new stuff, there still is a market out there for people who want that kind of traditional, old school kind of gameplay, and they hit on it. They were about the only one that really did that this year, and they ran with it.
So what do y'all think of Neverwinter? Neverwinter came out this year. It's on a lot of people's lists of of a game that they really enjoyed this year. It seems like you're in either one of two camps. You either really enjoyed Neverwinter and for what it is, especially that it's free to play, or you just could care less. Where do you guys fall?
Neverwinter to me feels like the comparative. I was reading the show notes. I thought the game Neverwinter feels to me almost like Defiance the show, in that it's this kind of thing that it's there and it's okay, but it's not really spectacular. Defiance isn't this fantastic, awesome sci-fi show that some people thought it might be. Neverwinter isn't this incredible, awesome fantasy MMO that we might have thought it would be. It's all right. It does okay, but it feels like a AA game, if you want to put it that way. Like, we know what a AAA game is, this perfectly beautiful and majestic kind of thing. This feels all right, pretty good. It's not like some total piece of garbage or anything like that. It's no Scarlet Blade, I'll tell you that. But it doesn't quite feel like it's on the AAA level. It feels like it's a AA, like it's not quite there.
AA,
welcome
Scarlet
to the minor
Blade.
leagues of
It's
MMO.
no Scarlet Blade now.
It's no Scarlet Blade. But there is room for that in the market, right? Not everything can be a 10. So if Neverwinter comes in at like a 7, that's not bad. I mean, I think
that's a fair score too, Gary. I don't think you're being critical or mean or anything. It's a fun time waster. And Jason and I have talked about this one offline, and I think one of the things that we've said that we both kind of jive on is this is a game that I would sink an hour or two here and there, but it's not going to be the MMO of choice that I log into every other day. It's my buddies aren't around, let me go play something else. The one problem I do have with Neverwinter, and the reason that I've kind of shied away from it for a while, since right before Fury of the Feywild expansion or module, was the issues they've had tech-wise that also impacted the economy, and a lack of a real desire to fix something in the economy on Cryptic's side. That kind of turns me off to a game very quickly when real-life money is being altered and manipulated like that. I'm not a fan. But as far as the game itself, it's a nice time waster. 7 out of 10 is perfect. That's exactly where I'd put it.
And what else did we see this year in 2013? Star Trek Online, I think, got a new expansion this year, right?
Yeah, the Romulan stuff.
I've not checked out Star Trek Online in quite some time. I played it on launch and things like that, but I hear it is a ton better than it used to be. I'm hearing that there's actually a lot of.
I mean, just after it went free to play, which was like after it went free to play, which was like last January, like 2012. I got back into it. I played it when it first launched, in I think 2010. Didn't like it at all. Then it went free to play. I was like, all right, let me check it out again. And it was much improved, I thought. I liked a lot of the systems they added to it. The little crew system where you can send your guys out on different missions and so on. I thought that was a cute touch. And yeah, I did play it pretty solidly for like a month or so. I haven't gotten back into it since. I really keep having it on my desktop, keep wanting to click on it, just don't get into it. It's still a little complex, still pretty involved. That's maybe something I don't know they should have done with Star Trek. They should have maybe made it a little more accessible, but it still is, I think, a lot better than it was when it launched. If you didn't check it out when it had a sub, or you didn't like it, it's worth taking a look at now that it's free to play.
And the expansion came out in 2013. When did that game come out, though? Is that 11 or 12?
2010. It was early 2010.
2010. Right, so it is a little bit older there. What else we got in 2013? CCP, EVE Online just keeps trucking along. Dust 514, not making too
not
much.
So much.
Not so much trucking along. Just kind of doing what it's doing. I don't really know what's going on there. World of Darkness, not looking so good. Bunch of layoffs in the Atlanta office. Not looking so hot over there for that game.
I will come and work for CCP tomorrow if World of Darkness can actually happen. Whatever I need to do, I will vacuum those offices. I will move to Atlanta and do that for however much staff is still there. Let's make this happen. Call me.
Well, if they hire you, they'll double your staff. They'll double their staff on it then.
Zing. Ouch.
Wow.
Guild Wars 2 has to be one of the most interesting games for 2013 as far as like the content delivery schedule that they built out for Guild Wars 2 was incredible in 2013.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. It
was like every week and a half, 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks, new content in Guild Wars 2 for a buy-to-play game, no subscription fee, buy the box and play it. I don't know. Where do you guys sit? I mean, you guys were both big Guild Wars 2 players at one time. Are you guys still in there?
Mm-hmm. I'm still in there quite a bit. The pace is okay. I've slowed down a bit recently, and it does seem almost like it's a little too fast to some extent. But I mean, they said when they first were going to this, they said they used to have it as a monthly thing. That was how often their Living World updates were.
Wow.
And they said...
You heard it here first. Jason just complained that the content was too fast.
Too fast.
It was delivered too fast.
But they said that their numbers on how many people are doing this stuff over 4 weeks, and after 2 weeks, people stopped doing the new stuff. And it really, really dropped off after that. So that's why they went to this kind of level of it. So it makes sense on that level if that's what their numbers are seeing. If they're seeing people are doing it that way, I get it. Now, one of the complaints I've been hearing about, other than the pace in general, is just that because it's also temporary, and I agree, and they sort of agree too. They need more permanent content. That because it's so temporary, people who log in, if they've just started playing again or came back in like September or something, they missed all that stuff that went on. They'll never get back to it. I mean, a lot of people are saying, I wish all that stuff would stay in permanently, but if it did, you wouldn't play it. They'd have 20 different things for you to do, but people would gravitate toward the newest couple or whatever gives the most loot right away, and that's all they would do. Even if the content that was in there in May was still around, there wouldn't be anybody there to play it. So,
yeah, and I don't like that aspect. Being a big PvE guy more so than PvP, I don't like that aspect of a game where if I miss something because I don't know, we're going to go to E3, and so it's 2 weeks to set everything up and do our stuff, and then we get home, and I wasn't able to play. There's an aspect of stuff that now I need to go read about because I actually can't learn about it in the game. And I know that's not all Guild Wars 2 content, but some of the bi-weekly stuff doesn't repeat, and therefore if you want the lore and the story and this living story, you've got to go out elsewhere outside of the game to find that, and that's always kind of struck me as odd.
That's what I talk about when I say going too fast. I kind of wish they would drop to maybe like a 3-week schedule. Because that gives you time. If you do like miss a week because you're for whatever reason you're out doing something, you don't feel like you have to rush through it again.
I wonder if more companies are going to follow suit though and start even getting faster and faster. I mean, we saw Blizzard in 2013 kick up their cadence and make a faster schedule as well. We're seeing all of them do it. It's just I think they're all realizing that they can't actually almost create content as fast as like players can consume it. The MMO model is just it's a nightmare from that end of a developer standpoint.
And that's Final Fantasy wants major content every 2 to 3 months. It's across the board.
Yeah, because I mean the people who are playing in these worlds just they're spending so many hours now they're just burning through it. There's not a whole there are casual people who play these games, but I guess so if you guys had to pick like a standout for 2013, what was sort of your defining game moment thing? Mine sort of falls into the people are going to say that's not an MMO, but I will disagree. And none of these things got me that excited. I actually think DayZ is probably the most exciting thing that I've played in 2013.
Oh my god, it's been out for the standalone's been out 3 days and you're already just hype train. Choo.
Oh, I am on. Yeah, I am in standalone, but I am. I'm much more excited. Not so much. Man, if 2013 was definitely the year of the survival horror, survivalist RPG game after DayZ, like with all the clones that started popping up, and I don't know personally. I don't think any of them get it right. As clunky as DayZ still kind of is, and even at this point in the alpha of it, it's still to me such a much more just immersive experience, much more than most games out there. For 2013.
This technically isn't a 2013 because it's not out yet, but the stuff that we've seen from it just makes it above a lot in my mind, and I'm staying away from like picking Final Fantasy XIV and stuff like that. But Star Citizen has really just kind of shaken lot of. I know it's not out, but everything that we're seeing.
Later. You could talk about most anticipated.
I started the sentence with This isn't out yet.
Why are we talking
it's not technically 2013.
We're going to talk about
2014. At least 3 or 4 more Kickstarters.
What I have seen in 2013 has been very, very, very impressive with what they're doing. And I can't wait to see what 2014 brings because of it. I'm just saying what I've seen this year, I've been impressed with.
They can't launch it until they do at least 3 or 4 more Kickstarters because they keep running out of money.
That's probably one of those amazing stories is how much money Star Citizen accumulated over 2013, and it became like $1 million a week at some point where it was just like another million, another million, another million. Jason, what's your highlight of 2013?
I mean, I don't know if any of the new games really grabbed my attention so much. I did play a lot of Guild Wars 2, so I forgot that's where most of my experience is. I guess if I had to say a surprise, it would be I'd have to say War Thunder a little bit if anybody's played that because
yes,
we go into 2013 seeing take Wargaming. They've got World of Tanks. They're going to have World of Warplanes. They're going to have battleships. They're going to control that whole World War II MMO fighting market. Then here comes War Thunder, and it's like, wow, this plays really, really well. To a lot of people's minds, a lot better than World of Warplanes, the air combat aspect of it. And they're immediately going to go into the ground forces and integrating all of that stuff. So it's really been a surprise how they could just come out of nowhere practically. I remember we made fun of this when we first talked about them back on TWIMMO. We called it like Tropic Thunder or something like that. And Shafty couldn't pronounce Gaijin. But yeah, it's really. But yeah, it's really been amazing that they could come out of nowhere and make a pretty quality looking product. And really, they need to get better market penetration. They need to raise awareness of that one. If they could do that, then they could really give Wargaming, I think, a run for their money.
Yeah, I mean that's worth. He's picking a game that's not even out yet. I'm going DayZ. All right, so let's talk about 2014.
Well, it was either that
or game's been out 3 days.
It was either that or Final Fantasy. Fine, Final Fantasy 14.
How did you not pick that? How did you not pick Final Fantasy 14?
Because I didn't want to.
Put the Santa hat back on. Grab some eggnog. It'll make you feel better.
How are we doing the Tweemies? How are we doing the Tweemies? How are we doing?
I was gonna do them like in between these things, but you just kind of just ran them all. So we should like actually communicate pre-show. But that
so what do you got there? We have no idea.
All right, so here I've got 6 categories. Now one of them has to be last because it's most anticipated of 2014.
All right.
Okay? So
now keep in mind, this has nothing to do with TWIMMO or Game Breaker. This is Mike Burns.
Here's absolving all blame.
What? Where did you get these? Where did these envelopes come from?
These are totally legit.
There was no consulting of anyone on the staff. This was Mike Burns made this up. This is Mike Burns.
4 or 5, Gannon.
Here, this is
which one?
4.
4. All right. So this is for the biggest surprise. You're not playing this release until 2014. That's the Tweemy.
Oh, biggest surprise.
Biggest surprise. You aren't playing this shit until 2014. The nominees: WildStar. Kind of makes sense. Elder Scrolls Online. Watch Dogs. Those are the nominees. But the winner.
Wait. We asked because we are on part of this, so don't we get to guess or something?
You can if you'd like.
No, I just want to be surprised. I'm not going to guess.
Really, I'm gonna say Watch Dogs.
It's actually Rambo the video game, which got delayed in October, and if you pre-ordered it, you got that 3-inch figurine of Sylvester Stallone.
Damn! How did I miss that? How did I miss that?
I don't know how you missed it. I don't know.
Oh,
but that was congratulations, Rambo the game. There's your Tweemy. You could take that home. That's for them. So Jason, here you go. Here's I'll give you the choice of 2. You can have the biggest MMO financial mess of 2013, Jason, or you can have the biggest that didn't work of 2013.
I'll go with that didn't work.
Ooh. The biggest that didn't work. One of the Gary, we talked about this.
700.
We talked about the first nominee, the Defiance experiment, right? Kind of didn't work. We kind of mentioned the second one. Dust 514
Defiance Dust, okay.
Didn't work.
Okay.
Firefall's PvP, that didn't work.
Firefall's management, yeah.
Those are the nominees. The winner, Gary, can you the biggest that didn't work? That was Final Fantasy XIV's launch servers. So congratulations to them. It's my favorite game. They get one as well.
Congratulations to the Final Fantasy XIV for launch servers.
I know they're scraping them in. They're scraping them in. Gannon, you can pick the biggest surprise moment of 2013 or the biggest I don't want to be a gamer anymore of 2013.
Oh, I don't want to be a gamer anymore. Yeah, I don't want to be a gamer anymore.
I'm just going to make a suggestion, too. Let chat room decide the next category of those two.
All right, chat,
so chat room, you guys...
Chat, the only problem is we'll have to wait a minute.
You need to decide one. Number one is the surprise moment of 2013. Number two is the biggest financial mess of 2013. So one or two. Start putting that in now while we do I don't want to be a gamer anymore moment of 2013. PAX's diversity issues.
Oh.
Yeah, kind of don't want to be a gamer anymore at that. When SimCity launched, didn't want to be a gamer there anymore.
I did not want to be a gamer. I just didn't want to be in their customer service department.
When husband strips wife on a PS4 live stream.
Oh yes. Don't want to be a gamer
anymore.
What was my first choice?
Oh, I bet I know what the winner is.
Wait, what was the first choice?
The winner was PAX's diversity issues this year.
Oh,
that was the first one.
Well, we know that none of the possibilities could ever be the answer. So
ever actually wins.
I'm gonna go with wait, I gotta pick something, right?
The winner was the award show. I forget what it's called.
The winner was in fact the VGX Awards show. Congratulations, Jason. With
that is absolutely the truth. That is absolutely the truth.
No doubt, no dispute there.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to the VGXs.
What is chat doing? Number one was the biggest surprise moment.
Two looks like the winner. Two is the winner. Two.
Yeah, financial mess.
Neverwinter's auction house / Astral Diamond fiasco.
Oh,
big financial mess for gamers.
Yes, remember that big mess. Totally took the market out. Completely destroyed homes, families. Children are now homeless because of this.
How about EA canceling Command and Conquer? How bad does a financial thing have to be for them to cancel Command and Conquer?
One of the longest standing franchises ever.
End of Nations genre identity issues continuing.
Nobody cares.
2 years of wasted cash right now.
Half the people who watch this show who are hardcore don't even know what that is.
I have a guess, but I'll let Gary go first if he wants one.
Then the TWIMMO goes to?
Well, there's only two choices?
No, there were three.
Were three? I only heard two.
Not like it matters. It's not one of those three. Neverwinter's auction house, the canceled Command and Conquer, or the End of Nations 2-year expenditure. Chat, you got it right. Rick JM 550 Project Copernicus.
Yep. Nobody still wants to buy it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
All. Congratulations, Rhode Island. This one's for you. You guys get that one.
Yes. Big pile of poop, that Copernicus.
Surprise moment of 2013, and then the most anticipated.
Surprise moment of 2013. Surprise moment of 2013.
This one's all yours. You got to get one and tie the score.
Surprise moment. Let's hear today. Let's hear my choices.
Final Fantasy XIV: Realm Reborn is actually playable.
That was a surprise moment. Wow. I have to admit, that was a surprise.
This one today, Mark Kern gets the boot from Red 5.
No surprise. I like Mark.
No surprise, but also a surprise, as we were talking about.
Star Citizen's Kickstarter campaign.
Somewhat of a surprise. I will go with I will go with Mike Byrne wearing a collared shirt.
Hey, I've worn polo shirts on the show before. The winner is Jane Austen MMO's Kickstarter actually surpasses its goal.
That's right. It actually made it. That's true.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Now I can do embroidery in an MMO.
Congratulations. That's for you, Jane. Even more surprising, I've played the demo. Most anticipated of 2014, final category. What's your most anticipated? Yeah. What's yours?
Are we going MMO or game?
Whatever you want, brother.
No, this is an MMO show, so I guess we stick it to an MMO. My most anticipated MMO of 2014, I will go with the mainstream choice of the Elder Scrolls Online.
I'm wavering a bit, if only because of the subscription model and the box price are making me steer a little more away from Elder Scrolls towards Landmark.
I don't care, Jason. It's Elder Scrolls.
I know. I hate myself. But yeah, most anticipated, I'll say, is Elder Scrolls. not feel
Well,
bad.
most anticipated of 2014.
It's gonna be
the TWIMMO.
What were the choices? The nominees were
EverQuest Next. Elder Scrolls Online.
WildStar.
WildStar. I mean, undeniably highly anticipated titles.
WoD. You want to put expansions on there? I don't know if that's part of that.
Yeah, we could put that. We could put that on there too.
You can put whatever you want on it because that will not be any of the answers.
It's not going to win.
Put whatever you want. It won't be the answer.
And the winner, 2014's most anticipated TWIMMO, goes to any title that might actually be halfway decent on the Wii U. Congratulations! They got it. Nice job. Well done.
Congratulations to any title that can take that claim. Thank you. The TWIMMOs. Thank you for that, Mr. Byrne. Now it's a tradition.
No.
Well, I'm happy to oblige, sir.
Now, is your son going to make TWIMMOs like that for every one of the winners? So you can send it to them?
Yes.
No.
Get that kid slaving away, getting to work.
Expensive. Altoids are expensive.
They're curiously strong.
Hey, man,
2014.
Nice this thing.
It is a pretty nice,
very
pretty
good job. Young
the antennae at the top of the screen is amazing.
I know, right?
2014.
That's our TWIMMO guy right there. Look at how badass that is.
2014. Shaping up for MMO fans. Elder Scrolls WildStar, EverQuest Landmark, EverQuest Next. What else am I missing? Warlords of Draenor expansion. Guild Wars 2, I'm going to go out on a limb and say they have to release an expansion in 2014. It's kind of about time. You'll see. I probably see that. Lots of choices. You got Hearthstone going to be coming out. No, I know it's on MMO, whatever.
Everything Blizzard's dropping, and then we have to see Titanfall this year,
Heroes.
Right? Or I'm sorry, Titan at BlizzCon, don't we? I think this has to be the year.
I'm giving up. That train is. I'm totally just giving up that is even a thing. I don't know. All right. So what's on the list? What's at the top of the Mike Byrne list here for 2014? What is your most anticipated MMO?
WildStar for me. You know I like that more traditional type of MMO on top, but I'm also interested to see a lot of that game has changed from the last time I played it at an event in San Francisco in May. And I haven't gotten hands-on time recently, but from watching the streams, a lot's changed. So I really want to get into WildStar. I'm still moderately excited about Elder Scrolls Online, but a little more reserved on that one because I have question marks on certain things that we've talked about on previous TWIMMOs. So
Chatham is firing off all the other things that I'm like forgetting, and I'm like, man, Destiny, the Division. There's so many choices in 2014. I gotta say, I'm gonna go back and say Elder Scrolls and Destiny kind of are on par with each other. I don't know if I can make a choice between those two for my most.
Yeah, I'm excited for Destiny too. More, I would say Destiny is a little higher for me than Elder Scrolls, actually.
Scrooge Online?
Destiny just looks... It looks like the Neverwinter of shooters to me. It's there, it's going to be okay, but yeah, I mean, it look pretty as hell. Have lots of stuff blowing up, I'm sure, and it'll have nice physics, but whatever. In terms of what I'm looking forward to, like I kind of explained, Neverwinter...
Neverwinter?
Elder Scrolls Online looks... I like it. I think if it was, if you want to say like at the end of the year, what's going to have sold the most? Who's going to have the most, or who's going to at least have tried the most? Account sign up or whatever in terms of a free-to-play game.
Elder Scrolls will be the winner here.
I think so. I agree too. I think if it was EverQuest Next, if it was the pure Next as opposed to Landmark, maybe it would have a shot because the EverQuest is more of a traditional kind of MMO. But yeah, I agree. I think against Landmark, I think Elder Scrolls will come out on top.
There are odds and ends that I'm interested in, too, that we still have question marks about when we will even see, right? Things like ArcAge. Which
You're holding out for that, huh?
Tryon, I would assume sometime this year, since all they had left was localization.
Yeah. And how about trying to get the game to... Trove looks interesting. Trove. I think looks
there's
really
all kinds of small side things. Blizzard's heading for an amazing financial year, though. I mean,
Heroes, Hearthstone, Diablo 3, like everything's coming out. Blizzard's dropping everything in 2014.
WoD. There's something big in every line of business they have this year. So nice year to own stock there.
I gotta say, you think procedurally generated and voxels? You think we're gonna be using those two terms like constantly in 2014? I feel like dynamic events were like what 2012.
That was 2012 into 2013. Yeah.
No, 2013 was free to play.
2013 is like free to play on like the year of the MOBA. It seems like there are just 1,000 of those coming out.
Yeah. Now it's and also the survival horror stuff. And now it's going to be all voxels procedurally generated. Like that's going to be all we're talking about.
I think also something else we're going to see more in 2014 and going forward is, I know Burn hates these because they're not MMOs, they're not massive, but I think it's going to be more of those smaller-ish kind of games that aren't about cramming in 1,000 people into a server, that are more about having a few dozen or so, like DayZ, like GTA Online, like The Division. I think that's going to be a bit more of a focus of what you try to do as opposed to trying to, like I said, cram in 1,000 people and ignore 3/4 of them or 90% of them because you only adventure with a couple people at a time.
It's going to be a big year. I think it's going to be a lot bigger than 2013 at least.
It is. I mean, sure, it seems like. Now, what could be the potential?
It has to be. Everything got pushed forward.
What could be the potential? Has the most potential to be the flop of 2014? I'm going to say Elder Scrolls Online.
Elder Scrolls Online, yeah. I mean, you can't really, I mean,
it could be the Star Wars: The Old Republic of 2014.
I agree.
Although that's an interesting story itself about SWTOR, about how it has actually apparently done pretty well this year.
2 years old today, actually.
Yeah.
2 years old today. Oh. Today.
Yeah, well, today was the official release. The pre-launch was on the 15th, I think. It was like the same day that Galaxy shut down, like the day after or something like that. But
why you gotta bring up the day Galaxy shut down? Why you gotta bring that day up? Why you gotta bring that day up, Jason? You know I shed a tear every time.
And in his head he's
Miss Corellian pie.
Yeah, I agree. But what I think you're gonna just say, it's like especially with Steam embracing all the early access stuff and the indie stuff that's coming out. I think you're right, Jason. I think we're gonna see. I mean, this whole like barrage of smaller games are not gonna stop, which is good and bad because hopefully we get some good gems out of there. But it also means we're gonna get a lot of crap, you know.
Sure. And
you're just seeing these games come out like almost daily now. Like there's a multiplayer, some sort of co-op-y multiplayer game with servers or something coming out. Like I said, there's a gajillion DayZ clones like popping
or stuff
up
like Terraria and Starbound. You know,
Starbound, another winner, man. What a great game! A lot of good games. Anything else? I don't know.
The Crew. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, last up before we leave. I know it's an MMO show. What is your most anticipated non-MMO for 2014, Mr. Byrne?
Watch Dogs.
Good choice.
Very easy. It was the whole reason I pre-ordered a PlayStation 4 when it got delayed. The whole reason I sold my pre-order.
So for me, Watch Dogs, I've got this like really weird burning sensation at the pit of my gut that says like this game could absolutely suck because it's so cool. Well, it's not a proven franchise, right? Like we don't know.
You should put the lotion on your skin.
But it's like, oh my God, it could be one of those games that everybody wants to be like the next amazing game, 10 out of 10, and it comes out and it's like a 7.5.
Don't say that!
It could! Nobody knows!
Don't do it!
And it looks so damn cool. Jason, what's your non-MMO choice?
That's so tough for me because I don't own a console, and my computer is... My PC is lagging behind current games enough that I'm not sure how well I'm going to be able to play new ones. So
Tetris. I guess say Tetris.
Well, no, because it's not because it is only an alpha. I will say DayZ. I'm definitely going to pick that up at some point after the worst of it gets dealt with. I want to definitely get into DayZ.
The DayZ standalone is fantastic. It's less buggy than the mod, and yeah, it's alpha for sure. But if you want an update on that, I've been playing it the past couple nights and having a freaking blast. I love DayZ. I love the mod. I love whatever, you know, there's still a lot of work to be done. Like it is an alpha, but there's already a ton of fun to be had. If I got to say though, non-MMO, I'm going to go with Witcher 3. Not even a, Witcher 3.
Yeah, you are pretty pumped for that one.
Pretty damn pumped. Yeah. Witcher 2 was probably my favorite game. Probably my favorite RPG of all time. I might actually go on that limb and say that.
That was the best day ever to be a Game Breaker staff. How many of you do not own The Witcher 2?
I just bought it for
because it's on the Steam sale right now. Send me
you
your
all
names.
need to play this game. It's fantastic. It's like one of the best games ever. Yeah, I think that's probably my pick, my most anticipated non-MMO. Definitely Witcher 3. And again, it probably is for most anticipated, it's like a toss-up between Witcher 3, Destiny, and Watch Dogs. But Watch Dogs, like I'm a little afraid with the other two because there's no history there. There's history with some of the devs, but not as a team. So I'm still a little gun shy. The Witcher 3 guys, I believe in CD Projekt Red. They are the new BioWare. That's what I call them. The new BioWare. It's going to be an interesting year. Last show. We're taking a break. We'll be back in January. Everybody have a super. We're off
next Friday.
We're
Nice.
off. No show next week. Have a great holiday, Mr. Byrne. You and your family. Same to you as
too,
well,
sir.
Jason.
It's always a pleasure.
Stay warm. Have some more eggnog.
Myself. Yeah.
And I. Me, myself, and I. Chat room. Have a great holiday. Keep checking the site. We got some more top lists of games coming out. Top 5 games, most anticipated, all that kind of stuff. We got a good working on the top train wrecks of 2013. That should be a good one. So hopefully that'll be out next week. Michael Byrne. Follow him on the Twitter. Magic Man, MAGICKMANN1, right here on TWIMMO. Fridays at 3 Pacific. Jason Winter, follow him at Winter Informal. And of course, right here as well on TWIMMO. You can follow me at Gary Gannon. Follow Gamebreaker TV, Gamebreaker TV. And like I said, have a great, great, great holiday. Stay safe. Hope Santa brings you some good games. And I love the holiday season for gaming. So everybody takes a little bit of a break. Just start. You know what I usually do? Do you guys ever do this? Do you get that one day where you just like, for some reason, pull out like the oldest MMO ever? You're like, I'm going to load up Dark Age. I do it all the time in the holiday season. I don't know why.
Final Fantasy XI, and that just had an expansion in March, so...
I don't know why. The holiday season makes me do that. There you do. All right, gang. Have a great week. Have a great holiday. We'll see you in the new year. Stay safe.